AI layoffs are already here, and it's just going to accelerate. So let's go over in the next few minutes a couple ways that we can make sure the world is better tomorrow than it is today, considering that this job transition is just going to get worse. Now, when people are losing their jobs to AI, I have several friends that have been laid off because of companies are doing more with fewer people. They are not able to find a new job because this is not an individual company that is finding an efficiency in their workflow. The entire job market is finding efficiency after efficiency where, yes, we still need employees at the moment, but one employee using AI as a tool can now do the work of several employees all in the same amount of time. Rent is still due at the end of the month. We still need to buy groceries. But there is just not enough jobs to go around. The problem, though, is we are moving towards a time where the economic output of society is going to continue to grow. The stock market is going to continue going up. And if you already own property and stocks, you'll probably do very well in the near future. But if you are not positioned right now at a time or in a financially stable way, good luck trying to establish yourself in the world that we have currently set up. Our policies are all designed around the ideal that everyone that wants to succeed in life will go out and get a job and be productive as a member of society. But we are very quickly making it so that human work is an inefficiency in the process. So what does utopia look like? What world should we build towards? There are a few things that I think we can establish as our baseline for if we made an ideal world. This might not be completely possible to build towards right now, but it's something that we can set as our ideal to work towards and take one step at a time to get there, or to get closer tomorrow than we are today. In a utopia world, I think we can agree that everyone has enough food on the table. No one's going hungry unnecessarily, especially if we are harvesting enough food from the land and it's getting distributed with few to no people in the process. We just need to go about it in a way just as food grows off of trees in the wild, and it is anyone's to go and pick an apple growing in the wild and eat it if they're hungry. We're going to need to transition to a world where food is grown by artificial intelligence and just shows up on a grocery shelf. And if you're hungry, you walk in and you just take it. This idea that you're stealing from others only applies when human labor was involved in the process of putting the food out on the shelf. But now that AI, which is trained off of all of society's efforts, now that AI is going to be doing this for us, we just need to transition back towards the idea of food is available. If you can go and grab it, it's yours. Another factor that we need to consider is healthcare. With artificial intelligence, it will take far fewer doctors to treat far more patients, and eventually we'll probably transition towards AI doctors with rare cases of humans intervening in the process to make sure that you are receiving the best care possible. In this case, and especially when we move our supply and production of medicine towards automated systems, we need to make sure that sick people just have access to the resources to treat their conditions. We are currently in a system where we overproduce many of the medicines that our society needs, and that's kind of important. You want to produce more than society needs, so if you ever have an emergency, you have a backup to fall back towards. But what we do as a society right now is We throw out medicine rather than treating patients that can't pay for their prescriptions and other services that they need. When we remove humans from this process of treating sick people, we just need to make sure that everyone that is sick and needs care receives it. Another area we need to look into is rent and housing. Now, understandably, people want to live in specific areas that raises the price of rent and the price of owning a home. So this is a slightly more complicated topic, but at the moment, there are more homes in the United States, for instance, something like 6 for every homeless person. We're going through a process right now where people are losing their jobs with no backup, no way to replace the income that they're losing, but rent is still going to be due at the end of the month. So we need to move towards a system that somehow rewards people for the community building that they do in order to allow them to have rent paid in the area that they're living. Home ownership is a big question. It's hard to say if our traditional ideals of buying your own home is actually the world that, or in the world that we're building towards. Because at the moment, if people are not in charge of the productivity of societal output, it's hard to justify ownership as much as it is just a need of all people to have shelter. So rather than individual ownership, if you do not have your way of generating income, what we might need to move towards is just guaranteed housing for the entire population. That's a pretty big issue. I think I'll dedicate a whole video just going into how we might address the spread of our population considering competition for housing in certain areas. Those 3 factors, food, healthcare, and housing. In an ideal utopia, everyone that's hungry has food, everyone who's sick has a doctor, and everyone has housing, period. I don't know the perfect solution to fix all of these things right away. They're big issues that warrant significant thought and significant dedication of resources in order to figure out the best solutions to these problems. But what I do know is the world that I see as an ideal has enough to go around for everyone. And we're not currently there. So let's take one step forward in this process as artificial intelligence takes away the jobs that we've been doing. If you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate your time. Please like and subscribe. And if leave a comment down below. Please tell me what issues you think are necessary for us to consider as people are being put out of their jobs and replaced by artificial intelligence. Have a great day.